Hi everyone, I hope all is well. I'm inside again this week. It's getting pretty cold out there. This week's Parsha is Parshat Vayetzei. Now in this week's Parsha there are two very interesting incidents that occur. And I believe that each of them resolve each other. So incident number one is seemingly that Yaakov lost touch with God. And number two is that Lavan, Yaakov's wicked father-in-law, Rivka's brother, seemingly acknowledges God. Right? So two polar opposites, very interesting in this week's Parsha. So let's start with Yaakov. So Yaakov, after fleeing from Esav trying to kill him, right, he goes and learns in yeshiva of Shem and Aver for 14 years, and then there's this climactic point where he's on Har HaMoriah, the Temple Mount, and he has the whole episode where he's dreaming and the angels are going up and down the ladder, right? This is it. And then he leaves Israel, right? He leaves the land, he goes to Haran, to the house of Lavan, and throughout that entire portion in the Parsha, throughout Yaakov's life, when he's outside of Israel, there's no more of this dialogue of him davening to Hashem, to praying to Hashem, right? There's none of this. There's barely any mention of Hashem at all. So what's going on with Yaakov here? Did he lose touch? He's one of the forefathers. He lost touch with Hashem. What's going on? And incident number two is after Lavan tricks Yaakov into marrying Leah first, and this whole thing happens. At that very end, when Yaakov's leaving, Lavan says, please stay and work for me. Why should Yaakov work for Lavan more? Because Lavan says, I want you to work for me because I see that you're blessed by God. Hashem blessed you. Now, how's this possible? If Yaakov lost touch of God completely when he left the land of Israel, it's not obvious anywhere in the text that he had connection, like he was davening all the time when he was at Lavan's house. How is it that Lavan knows that Yaakov was blessed by God and that everything that he was so in touch with God when seemingly he wasn't? So there's a beautiful message we could really learn out of this. First, number one, is how important the land of Israel is to us, the Jewish people, how comfortable we are when we're in the land, that we can act how we want to act in accordance with the Torah, with the mitzvot, with Hashem. And then when we leave the land, how we have to adjust our lives, how we have to put in more work, just like Yaakov does. But we have to model ourselves just like Yaakov when we're outside the land of Israel, outside of conducive learning environments. And really, regardless of the extra work we have, we still have to put on, right, we have to put on our kippas, we have to put on our Jewish identities, and really have to make that apparent. So even the wicked person like Lavan can tell that we as Jews are blessed by Hashem. So I give everyone a bracha that no matter where we are in life, no matter where we are in the world, we're able to push through just like Yaakov and really show our Jewish identity, even though it may not be apparent. And with that, I wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.